He looks less like Andy Garcia since he shaved, and he keeps wearing a hat now. I think he's like self-conscious.
I'll fucking take this thing. Wait, we can't start off like that. Hey guys, welcome to Economics Comics Hulk Issues. It's the Comic Cartel. Probably no one's in here. Oh, Perry's in here.
There's like 3 people.
Look at these 3 people. We love you. And that's it. Have a good night.
Yeah, here's Andy Garcia.
Oh, God. Here we go, dude. Are you Googling Andy Garcia?
No.
No, I got him on the screen right in front of me.
How about we...
Yo, how narcissistic do you have to be to wear a shirt with you on it for your own show?
I don't know. Whatever, I guess. It's my new shirt, dude.
Are you eating cup of noodles?
Hey, he is selling his comics off, so yeah.
Oh my God, man!
They brought me Sonic.
What are you eating out of a cup?
It's a freaking ice cream or something.
You don't need ice cream, but
yeah, I was gonna say, dude, I would have less ice cream, more chicken,
vegetables,
water.
Look, dude, they came over with a milkshake of like Reese's Pieces, dude. I'm like, okay, I'm hungry.
Who came over? That? The delivery guy?
Yeah.
My kid. My old lady went to the Sonic.
Yeah, you can't blame Grubhub, all right?
Yeah, the pizza guy just came over and brought me a large pepperoni pizza. And what am I supposed to do?
Let me tell you something. Why the hell do I go live for you guys to eat me alive, dude?
Because you were going to ban me in the chat earlier for messing with you?
Man, you are a son of a bitch. If you could bid in the negatives, you would.
Right, like when Economics has like his like a funny show or he's on someone else's channel, he doesn't mind like trolling people. But the second he's trying to do like a serious auction and make some money, he gets like all sensitive when you start like poking at him.
I know, he like threatened to like ban me. He was like, "Oh, yeah. One more comment, Hulk, and you're out of here."
What a pussy!
I wasn't even saying anything harsh. I was just, man. I even bought one of your comics, man.
Yeah, where's that payment at? I don't see it.
I told you, just hold all my stuff.
I'm holding them.
I'm waiting for you to get to I or H to get to some good stuff instead of all this crap I've never heard of.
What'd you buy?
Just the Captain America when Falcon takes over.
Oh, that one?
Well, it was like the only thing that I can recognize. Everything else was all this indie garbage.
Dude, Crossbones was in there.
How much did you pay for that one?
$12.
That's not bad. That book was hot for a while too.
Yeah, I said I'm a Captain America fan, so I'm all right with that.
So, should we like have the comment section ask us stuff to talk about?
Yeah, they could suggest something to talk about. I'm all right with that.
All right, you guys, ask some questions. I'm tired. I just did auction. My throat hurts.
There's only like 2 people in here. What questions do you want them to ask?
There's like 14.
I guess I got to refresh.
Yeah, I was going to say, you should probably do that on your iPhone 2.
I have an iPhone 2.
I have no doubts about that.
It's in a drawer somewhere.
I have the little guy.
Yeah, that's like the first one. It's called the 2G.
There was only 2 Gs in it?
Yeah, 2G. 2G service. Edge service. Back in the day.
There must be another show.
Tank Punk wants to know what's the meaning of life.
Die. To die gracefully.
I don't know what the meaning of life is. Drink a lot. Read a bunch of comics.
What is life is the real question. Daniel says, what's the most expensive item you have bought at con?
At a con?
Yeah.
I've only been to like 2 cons, so I haven't spent that much on one specific item. I got a really beat up copy of Marvel Spotlight 5 at New York Comic Con last year for like $85. That's the most I've ever spent on one singular comic book at a show.
And I think I'm trying to remember.
I know I spent $700. Well, I got 2 items together, but the most expensive out of those 2 items was like $800. It's this X-23 original art piece over here by David Mack. That's my most expensive purchase.
I don't know. I bought a lot of expensive things. I'll be honest. I remember I bought a super high grade set of First Gorilla Grodd in Flash. Those 3 issues, or 2 or 3 issues. I paid a lot for those because they were like 9.2s, 9.4s.
Those are pricey books, man.
Yeah, they were like crazy high grade. I think I paid. There was like 2 or 3 of them. God, it was wild, man. It was a long time ago too, and it was like $1,500 or $1,800.
Did you flip those?
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like a book you would hold on to.
Yeah, I liked it, but I'm just not a huge Flash fan, and I got an offer that kind of couldn't pass up, so I sold them like 4 years ago, something like that. Trying to think, but I bought a lot of pricey books. I bought a Hulk 181. I bought a Hulk 2 in high grade. The Hulk 2 in high grade was expensive. That was probably my most recent. That was over $1,000.
This is all at Comic-Con?
Or, well, different comic cons. Not like an actual San Diego Comic Con or something like that, but because I'm in a pretty good area. There's probably 16 cons a year within 40 minutes of my house, 45 minutes. And within an hour and a half, I could probably go to 2 cons a month, not including the big ones down south, like WonderCon, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, you got them everywhere.
Yeah, like I literally have one that goes twice a year that's 5 minutes from my house. And I don't live in a big old town. I live in the armpit of California.
Yep. I spent $3,500 on X-Men 1 6.0.
Oh, that's baller.
But things worth, I don't have it anymore, but it's worth a shitload now. I sold it for $6,800 like 6 or 7 years ago.
I was just saying, and then one year, was it like 2004? I had my credit card out on Amazing Fantasy 15.
Oh.
$5,000 at the time though. So I was in the Army, and that was a ridiculous amount of money for me.
How much was it?
It was $5,000. He was going to mark it down to. It was raw at the time.
Oh,
it was pretty high grade. I don't
remember
the
exact
grade, but it probably would have been worth $30,000+ now.
Yeah, but you never know about
that's what I'm saying. Like everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're such a moron for not buying that." I'm like, "Yeah, but I was also making, Army money." Which is
but it could have been restored and all types of shit you have no idea about.
That's what I'm saying. I had no idea about restoration, but it was just mainly, dude, it was $5,000 in the time. That was a ridiculous amount of money for me, and I was literally getting ready to like max out a credit card like to buy it, and I was like, "No, I'm good." Pump the brakes, and
I think I probably would have, because now that's the one book I want. I think that's my grail.
What book?
Amazing 15.
Oh yeah, one of my shops has one right now. 2 of my shops, but they're restored.
How much do they want?
I think they're asking like $13,000 on one. That's like a 2.5 purple label.
Wow, it's a purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, but only thing, if I bought that Amazing Fantasy 15, dude, I bet you that thing had to been at least an 8.0 or 8.5 at least. Dude, it was crazy nice. But even if it was restored, like somebody just said, dude, even if it was restored, it was probably, what's a restored like 8.0 go for? Crazy money still.
It depends. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, man, if you're talking about getting a book that's a grail for you, if the price is even remotely reasonable, for me at least, I'm saying I could care less whether it's raw or slabbed or like what color the label is. Like I don't know.
Well,
I held the AF-15 in my hands. That's the closest I'll ever get to it. So if someone offered me a purple label at a price I could actually afford, I wouldn't be like, oh no, it's a purple label.
yeah, but I also don't want to overpay for a purple label.
No, I'm not saying
you're
overpay
paying like
for
blue
it,
label prices for a purple label.
Yeah.
That's and like I didn't really know about high end books at that time because I never looked at anything like back then. Like something like that was, like I said, that was so ridiculously, and even now that's ridiculously out of my price range, 5,000. So I really didn't know the market for books like that. So I was like doubly scared to pull the trigger on it because like, oh, I knew it was a good deal because I saw what they were going for, but I still wasn't intimately familiar with AF-15. You know, it's not something I would buy all the time. But, you know, there's always still in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, if I would have just had that, and I'm a hoarder, so I would have held on to it, that thing would have been worth big money now.
Yeah. That's how it is, though. That's how it is in the comic game. You buy it, you drop it, you never, it's always, I've made so many mistakes.
But I've also pulled the trigger on a ton of books that ended up, I mean, that's how I got my Hulk 1 through 5. Dude, I ever tell you, like, what I did?
That's amazing, though, that you have that.
Yeah, but the only thing is, like I said, it was, this was a while ago, man. That was when I first got back in the Army, so it was right after 9/11. And I saw a listing on eBay for Incredible Hulk 1 through 5, and they had it at the time for like $2,400.
Oh my God!
No, but you got to remember though, that was a lot of money. So I literally hit the guy up out of the blue, and I'm like, "Hey man, would you take payments?" I just thought, well, you know, what's the worst he's gonna do is say no, right? So like he hits me back like less than 20 minutes later. You know, I tell him, I'm like, man, I'm a huge Hulk fan. I'm in the Army. I'm like, I can't afford no $2,400, but I'll make payments. And he goes, sure. He goes, what kind of payment plan do you want? I'm like, I could spend about $400 a month.
Oh, that's good.
It took me like 6 months, and I thought for sure I was getting screwed. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna send him last payment. I'm never gonna see those Hulk books. Sure as shit. Made that last payment. Week later, man, Hulk 1 through 5 shows up. And that's how I.
You never physically saw them in person before you did it?
No, they were just on eBay.
That's fucking crazy.
Pictures. I know, but I'm like, dude, how often am I going to be able to get Hulk #1? Even back in the day, it was.
Oh, at least on eBay you saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, dude. I could show you an Action Comics #1 on eBay if you really want to see it. Doesn't mean I have it. Just send payment, you know. So I thought for sure, but I'm like, all right, but no, that's how I ended up getting my Hulk 1 through 5.
Model Vault. Let's see here. Let me answer this one question first, then we'll go back up to Model Vault. Perry's going to his first con to meet Capullo. Should he buy the regular entrance ticket or spend $150 on the Batman pass? So this is what I would say.
Well, what comes with the pass?
That's my guess is the Batman pass probably has Schneider, Glapion, and Capullo all together. I would say do that just because, and I wouldn't normally say that, but if it's your first con, that way you get triple signs, you know. But you got a haul ass skit line, and then they cut the line off really fast for Capullo now, and you might miss it. So it's better to get the pass, kind of guarantee yourself. If you're really like absolutely have to get Capullo, I would say do that. I wouldn't do that because I know what I'm doing, but it's his first Comic-Con. So
I mean, Capullo usually repped by Comic Sketch Arts or whatever. And they do that weird thing at shows where like you got to get there early and buy something from them, and then when you buy something from them, they give you a ticket for one of the signing times. So there's like, what's that?
It's changed.
Yeah, that was just like 3 months ago. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because mine was at the other one too. Like it was last year, and it was.
I guess maybe it depends on the size of the show and stuff. So like, I mean, if you've never been before, I'd probably say.
Yeah, he's going.
If you're that serious about getting something signed, I mean, I'm curious, like, what else comes with that, though? Like, how many books can you get signed by him included in that? Or do you get anything, like a print or a comic or something special? Or is it just, like, one signature, like, wait in line? Because, I don't know. we're adults. You could figure it out if it's significantly cheaper to just do it on your own. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
If that's the only guy you want to see, if you get there when it first opens and you go straight to wherever you have to go for him, then you're going to be guaranteed for a lot less money. So,
but you got to stand there forever, and you got to wait it out. But if that's what I agree with him. I have a friend that did the pass on. He got hooked up, and I tried to get in line a couple times, but it was already so big. I didn't think they cut it off at like 100. You know, I'm like, come on, these guys aren't rock stars, but now they're rolling like it. So, yeah.
Yeah, you read the chat questions. You got the big old screen.
What's the most? Oh no, we already did that. What's some vintage Marvel or DC non-comic stuff you have? Toys, puzzles, etc.
Vintage, I don't have. I got that record from that dude I showed on my channel that day, but I don't really have any vintage. Well, I don't know what you mean by vintage. Is vintage like
what? Yeah, what's some
90s,
vintage?
pre-70s?
I don't have anything from before the 90s. The oldest collectible stuff I probably have is like Marvel toys and trading cards from like the early 90s.
Those are still pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
what's that?
Those are still pretty cool, though.
I mean, they're cool. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't consider that vintage.
Yeah, it's not. It's not vintage.
No,
I'm talking about like 70s and earlier, usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have that record from the Hulk record that you guys already saw that, but that's about the oldest Hulk like non-comic item.
I have those big. I know it's a comic, but the big giant-sized ones.
Oh, like the treasury ones?
Yeah,
those are 70s. I think that might be kind of. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're still kind of comics, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh wait a minute! I do have.
Oh, that Hulk head in the background looked like it was.
Oh, hold on. Damn, I got too much junk.
Let's see here. You did it. I was thinking it. Let's see. Are you guys into anime or manga?
No.
I do got this though.
That's
that?
That's Migo.
Migo.
Damn, that is clean, dude.
Yeah, but his arm is broke. I mean, it's a common thing, but the arm is. You can see it. Look, it's right there.
Never been open. It fell out.
No, they routinely the Hulk arms, the left arm broke just in packaging. It's not super uncommon to see them, but it's cool. I'm not a huge toy guy because I just literally don't have the room.
And you guys have to watch MIB Masters Toy Museum, dude. He's on here. He has all that. It's incredible, dude. Okay, what else?
But I got your comic, Bill.
What comic? Oh, you like it?
By Wayne Enterprises.
I forgot I did that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that cover's sick. What else? Anime manga. You know what? I like Alita. That movie was dope.
Anime and manga. I'm not really good on what's the difference, to be honest. I watch a bunch of shows, but I don't know if it's.
Isn't one a book and one's a movie, or one's a cartoon and one's a comic?
I don't know. I watch like Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan AE because my oldest daughter likes it too. So Attack on Titan AE is actually pretty good. It's pretty vicious, but it's pretty good.
I heard that's making a strong comeback. That's what I keep hearing. I like the girl.
Neon Flux. That was that old school one. That was sick back in
I like the cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh, do what? Shit.
No, hey, yeah, I know the cosplay. Yeah.
Let's see here. Sunshine says, "What's the most valuable book you ever found at the lowest price?" I picked up X-Men 94 through 300 in 9.0 and better for $200. That's my best haul, and that's not just one comic, and then one time I picked up a long box of old first printing or first print underground comics, like super rare ones. And I had no idea what I had, and I had to do research for I spent $150 for that. And I did it like at least 2 or 3 weeks of research on it and realized I had a gold mine, like absolute gold mine. I kept some, but I liquidated the rest on eBay.
I'd say my best, I got Tales to Astonish, number 40. It was either 41 or 42 through 101 for $30.
Oh my God.
It was just at a garage sale. Didn't know what it was. And he had them in a box. And I was like, dude, how much for the whole box? And he was like, how about, he threw out a number. And I literally didn't have that much cash. And I gave him all the cash that I happened to have because I just was driving by, saw a yard sale sign, made a turn, saw the white comic book box. I was like, all right, go look. I figured it was just going to be, 90s, junk, Spawn, Jim Lee, X-Men, X-Force, Death of Superman. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, wow. Gave him all the cash. It was like $32 or $35 or something like that.
Were they not? What were they, like fine or better, or were they under fine?
No, they were mixed. I mean, there was a couple of them that were beat up, but a couple of them were super nice. I mean, they were all in, bagged and boarded in a nice box. You could tell they were taken care of. But I guess
that guy had no idea.
Oh no, they probably either cleaned out a house or were parting out ex-husbands. I don't know, something like that. I've come across a few things like that in my life. But that was probably the best it was good in terms of value, and then it was awesome because I'm a Hulk fan, and those Tales to Astonish don't come cheap, and you don't even see them that much. So that was like my best deal I've ever gotten. But as for like a single issue that I've ever found,
hey Chin, I sold some blank variants today, and they're gonna tell me what they want you to draw on them. So I'll figure that out later. Model Vault says his brother bought a FF1 for 10 cents at the school bazaar, and then my mom threw it out cleaning his room.
Oh man,
that sucks.
It's almost like he's drawing, but he's not.
I know. I thought for a second, like, I'm like, really? He already did that. Like his daughter, he was showing off his daughter's artwork thing, and I thought now he's drawing on YouTube.
Oh, it's David Mack right there, dude.
Yeah, it's a Sci-Fi Wire. Like when they do like the drawing with the pros.
Dude, I saw dude. He is supposed to go live with me like any time now. I've been talking to him. I'm just waiting for him to do it. Damn it, David! If you're watching, come on.
Technically, he's on the show right now.
Yeah, see, he's on.
He's live there?
No, but
I'm gonna reach out to him again, dude. He's doing a Joker piece for me too, so I want that too. I want to get him live. He's really, really cool, dude. He's a really nice guy.
Peanuts.
I wonder how much he would charge me if I wanted an Andy Garcia piece.
It's not as funny the more times.
No, yeah, it is.
No.
I mean, for me, it is.
All right. I think we asked everyone. I think we answered everyone. I mean, I don't know how many people are in here. I don't have my
21.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not bad for a Monday night, and we have no agenda.
So I'll tell you guys something cool that's coming up. And I don't know how many East Coasters are watching this or gonna watch it on the replay, but one of the local shops, my main local shop is called Zap Comics, and they have two shops in Jersey. They have one in Wayne and one in Manalapan. and so they do like their own convention every year called ZapCon, and it's the 30th, I think, whatever, 2 Saturdays from now, the last Saturday of the month. But dude, if you search them on Facebook, Zap Comics, on their Facebook page, they put up a 7-minute video. They bought a huge collection from a guy that's like a longtime customer, and none of the books are on sale until the convention. And I'm telling you, man, it has to be worth over like $1 million, like retail. I mean, like 3 copies of AF-15, AF-15, multiple
Where the hell
copies
do
of
they find those? God,
what that.
where do they find this stuff?
It's a guy this guy Hank, who's been a customer there. The shop's been open for 25 years. This guy's probably been a customer there for like 25 years. And he agreed, I guess, to sell like a huge chunk, if not all of his collection to these guys. I mean, if you guys afterwards, or like anyone who's out there, if you go to Facebook and search for them, Zap Comics in Wayne, New Jersey, they literally just like yesterday or the day before put up this like 7.5-minute video. If you name a key, they have it either raw or slabbed. They have Hulk 1 and 2. They have like Fantastic Four 1 through like 30. They have ASM, like they have every book you could possibly be looking for. They have them, and multiples of them.
They're trying to liquidate without listing. Is that what you're saying?
No, they just bought this collection like a week ago. I mean, they buy collections all the time. Like all of my pricey books, all of my wall books, anything that you've seen on my page that's like even remotely impressive book, like I've bought from them. They just turn over so much stuff because they're like the biggest comic store in New Jersey, and they're just so good at what they do. And they just buy good books all the time, man. I think I like once a month I go in there and they have like a Hulk 181 or some other huge big boy book up on the shelf, and it's gone within another week. Early Captain Americas, like early Fantastic Four. I mean, they just bought a full run of ASM only like 2 months ago, and they're all already gone. So like they just bought this collection, and so they're not making them available for sale until their convention in like 10 days. So I mean, if you're on the East Coast, if you're in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, and there's like a really big key that you're looking for, that you have the money for, dude, like take a drive, man. The show opens at like 9 a.m. and it's $10 to get in. And dude, I'm telling you that these books are like gorgeous. If you don't believe me, just go to their Facebook page, Zap Comics. Go to their Facebook page, watch this 7-minute video. I'm telling you, before you get like 3 minutes into it, you're gonna feel nauseous. Because the number of insane books that they have is just, I mean, I don't have the money right now. I don't think I could afford one single book that they show in that video.
I get pissed because, I live out here, Arizona, and the spec game out here is huge. And like, there's only a certain amount of stores. They're all within reach. And dude, there's nothing there, man. It's just, and I know people say you can find them. Yeah, you can find them. I've looked everywhere. I have to go out of state. Like, I wish I lived like Indiana or somewhere like where there's a bunch of farms and shit or farm. I want to go digging that, but I can't find anything here. It's freaking driving me nuts.
Yeah, but I think a lot of places are getting like that because of how big comics, continue to be. I don't care what people say about shops closing down and stuff. I mean, if you just look at YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff, like comics, I think to me, it's like this is the biggest they've been since probably when I was like a kid in like the 90s.
Yeah, everyone wants it now, and it's now you're starting to really notice the limited print.
not only that, but there's so many more resources now. So, are there still people out there who are going to sell books for like pennies on the dollar because they just don't know? Yeah, there's still a few people out there. You're still going to catch some garage sales or flea markets or whatever where people aren't really sure what they're selling. But I think the reality of that is definitely, I think, a little bit lower than it used to be because people have access to all these resources like eBay and everything. And so it's just 2 clicks to find out what a book you have is selling for. So no one's going to ever accidentally sell an Action Comics 1 at a garage sale ever again. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
don't think you're gonna find that sort of stuff. I think all the times I came into collections and stuff, they were pretty odd circumstances. Like, the first Craigslist story I told you about, and then I had another odd thing where, I mean, long story short, ex wife was mad that her husband was cheating on her, and she pretty much paid us to dump his comics, and a bunch of them ended up in a pool, but we ended up with a bunch of cool books. That's how I got that Daredevil one with no cover.
Dude, I've heard that story before. I've been part of that same story with ex-wife liquidating dude's shit. And it just out of pure hatred.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. Like, it was back when I was in college, and I used to work on the weekends for a buddy. He had a hauling and demolition company, so we'd go clean out, like, evictions and Section 8 houses and stuff like that. Haul away your old fridge, tear out your deck, stuff like that. And we get a call. This lady calls and says, "Hey, I want an estimate to get clean out my garage," which was a normal call. We go there. Hot chick answers the door, but you can tell she looks a little rough, like she'd been up all night crying or something. We're like, all right. She goes, "Yeah, it's right in here." We go in the garage, and you got to remember, like, we normally did jobs where you would wear boots and we would use snow shovels inside houses to get rid of the trash. Like, that's how bad, like, the houses normally are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we go into the garage, and she's like, "Everything in the garage." And I look at one pile. There's a huge pile of clothes, shoes, ties, men's clothing with bleach poured all over it. And then there's a dirt bike knocked over that was on a work stand. And at the time, dude, it was a high-end bike. It was a new bike. I don't know if anybody knows a lot about bikes, but it was the new 4-stroke from Yamaha. And there was a toolbox, the rolling toolbox with the stackable unit knocked over, tools all over the place. And to the left is a box of, there's like 12 boxes or 12 or something like that, like 12 boxes, short boxes, neatly stacked comic book boxes, the telltale sign, and a couple mountain bikes. And she goes, "Yeah, I want all this garbage hauled away." And me and my buddy are like, "What garbage are you talking about? All this stuff is like brand new." And she goes, "Everything in here." And we're like, this is kind of odd. But my buddy's like, "All right." He was the owner. So he writes up a little invoice. He's like, I don't know how much it was for, a few $100s to get rid of everything. But, we're looking at each other like, like pretty much everything except the clothes is good to go. And so we're talking, and she basically is kind of in there watching us, and she, breaks down like, my husband cheats on me. I just found out he's banging, some chick and blah, 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 blah. And so she's doing it out of spite. And I'm like, dude, it's like, we can't take this dude's stuff. I'm like, I don't know the whole story, but I'm like, I don't know. This is a messed up situation. It's like, because you don't even know if she's the owner of the house or if she's, moved into his house and he's just not home, and she's getting rid of all his stuff without him knowing it. And so she's getting angry. We're not really wanting to take the stuff because it seems kind of sketchy. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of what you're allowed to do and not allowed to do in that situation. But so she's getting upset, and she's like, fine. She goes, she made a comment like, "So I need to make it look like garbage for you guys to haul it out." And we're like, we're not saying that. We're just saying this is kind of odd. Can we get his permission to take this stuff? So she gets mad, and she starts grabbing stuff out of the garage, walking back through the house. And we're like, okay, what is she doing? Like, she picks up, there was a nice road bike. She picks it up, brings it into the house. Like a minute later, comes back in, grabs up some tools, goes back out, then starts grabbing up comic book boxes, going back. And we're like, what is she doing? Then my buddy's phone rings on his business line, and it's her on the phone, but she's in the other room. And she's like, "I have all this stuff in the pool that I need taken out and thrown away." And we're like, what? So she comes back in. She's still on the phone with him, who's also standing in the garage. And she says, "All this stuff is in the pool." And we're like, oh, wow. This chick's going off the deep end. Literally go in the backyard, and she tossed like a ton of stuff into the pool. Comic book boxes, tools, mountain bikes. So, yeah, I know how long comic books will float if they're in plastics. But only comic book I kept from that was a Daredevil #1. like I said, no cover, and it's pretty thrashed, but I don't know. Crazy, but I don't know. You got to get lucky. Find either garage sales, yard sales, Craigslist, crackhead stealing stuff. I
The
don't
thing
know.
is that I used to get lucky. That sounds
now you
that sounds funny, but times have changed since the movies. Right when Iron Man 1 came out, that's when I was scoring big, and then it just started to get worse and worse. And now I'm dealing with like 3 major shops out here and a couple big time dealers that basically control the collection market. They go and they bid. They have all the connections, and they go bid on these giant collections like within the Arizona state. All the states around us, they kind of run this. So it's hard to jump into it. It's hard to get the super deals, at least in my area. Yeah, I could travel outside my area, but I mean, I want to go to like mid United States and like really hunt because I know
I had opportunities to buy big collections, but dude, they were way out of my price range.
that's the other part.
Dude, I've been offered. I used to keep an ad on Craigslist, like I'll buy comics and stuff like that, and 99% of the calls were just small collections here and there, maybe a couple keys here and there. And then one day I got a call for a massive collection, and it had everything. But dude, it was way out. He wanted a killer deal for it. Like it would have been a steal. But I mean, I don't know about you guys. I can't come up with like $40,000 cash like in an hour. And like I had to call a buddy of mine who's more of a high end guy, and he came out and bought it and stuff. But he's like, yeah, you got to have cash when those deals come up, and you just got to get one, and then you have the cash to buy future deals. But it's like, how do you get that kind of money right now? I mean, I don't have that kind of cash. I mean, I'd be divorced if I, got 40 grand out of my house or something like that and bought comic books.
See, Sunshine makes a good point. He says that he's found that if you're time your hunt around other hobbies, like you find better deals. Like if a new Magic the Gathering set drops, people will dump their books cheap for the new cards. Yeah, I get that. I don't hang in that circle, but I know what you're talking about. A lot of people that have the cards have the comics, and they've like graduated into the card hobby and just sitting on books that they don't care about anymore.
Well, they bounce back and forth, and
Yeah.
like I've seen guys want to get into Magic the Gathering, they dump all their books, and vice versa. They want to get out of Magic the Gathering, get into whatever, and they dump the cards super cheap because they just want to hurry up and get some cash, and they're impatient. But like I said, you got to be right place, right time, and that just comes down to pretty much pure chance. And I don't know, that's a rough way to try to. I mean, I've been collecting for decades, and I can count those times on one hand.
Yeah,
Stuff
me
like
too.
that has happened to me. So that's the only hard part.
I score. Actually, there was one other score I got. This guy posted on Craigslist. This is before Craigslist turned into the most insane thing ever. You can't find, people are all over everything now. But he said, I got a box of old funny books or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the score because he did. He posted it wrong. And I met him at like a law office, and I walked in, dude, and he had like his break room, and he had stacks like on my shelf here. Like just stacks of books, unbagged, unboarded. And I just like clearly just walked by really fast. I convinced him for 200 over the phone, like without even seeing it. And I walked by and there's FF, all of them, X-Men, all of them, Iron, first Sabretooth, first Silver Surfer, whatever. It was just nonstop. Then he wanted an extra 100. I said, okay. And I remember coming home and just screaming like in front of the kids, like, oh my God. It was like 3 copies of each key. That's the horror story though, like, is that they're all gone.
Well, it's not that they're all gone. It's just
no, that's it. They're all gone.
It's just super rare to find them now. Like I said, especially with, like you were saying, the dawn of the internet and the one click, on eBay or wherever. It's too easy to find values, and it's also pretty easy to sell them. But like I said, there's still stuff here and there. But I mean, I've had a few good run-ins at garage sales, but none of those 1 in a million type things you hear about. Find some crazy collection and.
Well, I think it's all about location in regard to that too. Like I think.
Well, between the three of us, though, we're pretty much spread throughout.
No, I think Issues has the best chance at getting something like that compared to us.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think so, because being in New York, the volume of people that like want to also buy stuff is so high.
I get that.
Everybody's scouring Let It Go. Everyone's scouring OfferUp. Everyone's scouring Mercari and all these other selling apps, and it's just like, I don't know. Like Hulk said, I think that it seems like, from even talking to people, like I talk to my local shop owners, and like I talk to guys at shows that are dealers, and people want you to buy everything. And so normal collectors just don't have that money. You might be able to go to a garage sale and get lucky and cherry pick a couple books, but people who know they have good books, they are like, it's all or nothing, and this is how much I want. And normal people like me, like I don't have that kind of money. Number one, because you can't use a credit card to buy something from someone at a garage sale.
Well, what Issues? What I'm saying is, let's just pretend money and all that. I'm talking about quantity of old books. I think that the majority of stuff is stuck in the center of the U.S. and the East Coast, and it's like a diamond in the rough to find it on the West Side, because most people with giant collections back in the day travel. I know a lot of people retire in Arizona and Cali and all that, but most of those giant old collections, I feel like they're stuck over on that other side of the country.
I don't know. I just like I've talked with Issues about a buddy of mine who buys high end. Like he just got a ton of money. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And honestly, he keeps a couple ads on Craigslist, and he gets hit up, but he's got the cash. I mean, he just bought a collection. What was it? Probably towards the end of last year, dude. It was $100,000 in cash. I mean, who has that kind of money? But he made a killing off of it because it was all crazy. I mean, there was literally 7 Amazing Fantasy 15s. Some of them pretty high. The lowest one was a 6.5.
That's what I was saying.
Right? No, but he bought probably 700 or 800 books and nothing really after the mid 70s was in the collection. Like he made a ton of money, but who has $100,000 to drop? Dude, I couldn't do that if I was single and wanted to liquidate everything I had. I couldn't come up with that kind of cash.
Well, that's the other problem too, that I'm dealing with down here, is that the big guys have the capital. There's only a couple of them, and they just dominate the surrounding states in here. So it's just, it's more of a get lucky type of thing nowadays for someone with, well, I would include us too, in regard to finding keys for cheap. Unless you have money, but.
And like, he literally shows up, makes a phone call, transfers some money, and boom, it's done. I'm like, dude, it would take me weeks to get that kind of money, even if I could, because I'd have to like refi my house or something like that. I mean, but he could do it without even sweating, and then he could sit on that money.
Yeah.
So even if I did get $100,000, I would have to liquidate it quick, because I'd have to get that money back to start repaying a loan. And he's just like, whatever, it'll sell when it sells. And that's hard to compete with.
Yeah.
And like I said, they don't want to sell one book. They don't want to just say, okay, all right, I have this one Hulk you want, and it's semi-affordable. They don't want to do that. They want to sell the whole collection. And a nice collection that has those big keys is going to come with a big price tag. And most of us probably watching YouTube don't have that. But so we're left trying to pick up the crumbs here and there and get lucky.
John likes how Issues has a whole counter programming happening on the TV behind him. It's like we are seeing what he's thinking about on screen behind him. Yeah, I know. It's like he was almost drawing. John, that'd be true if it was just all penises. I had to say it.
What a dick. What a dick.
That wasn't me, dude. Yeah, dude. Let's get away from this topic because it's just like it's
depressing.
It's really depressing, dude. It really is. But I know you're sitting on a gold mine behind you, Hulk. Don't pretend like you're not. I know it's there.
Yeah, but you gotta understand though, man. That's 35.
I understand that. You're the guy that we want to wait for to say, "Hey, I want to liquidate all this stuff."
Yeah. No, that's what you want. You want me to die and my wife not know.
No.
And then she
No. I don't want you to die, dude. Just give me your books.
Hey, I already know where you live, so I'm coming.
I got your shit.
I'm not even gonna wait till you're dead, just so you know that.
I know. I'm scared. Oh man.
Hey, guys, look who's on TV.
Oh god. Oh man, he's in two places at once.
Hey, God, wait,
dude. That is, in 10 years and like 20 pounds, he's gonna look like you.
Oh, there he is. There we go.
That's funny.
What's he looking up now, dude? What
Andy Garcia. He's looking you up.
No, he said he's looking at something else.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Look at that. Look at all those people who came to see you.
Wait, I want to see. Let me lock in. Oh man, should I grow a white beard?
Yeah.
Dude, you should go as a cosplay, dude. Andy Garcia.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have to do anything.
You're gonna have to skip. You're gonna have to skip the Sonic for a couple weeks though, and buy a suit.
I got a suit. He looks like he's been having Sonic. Anyway, you bastards. What the hell am I doing with you guys?
I wonder the same thing. I'll be honest. I have no idea. I feel like you're like.
I think we help keep you lighthearted. I think that's.
This is his phone starting to. Oh, what, you got a new picture, Issues?
What's that?
So, yeah, you have a new background pic, a little circle.
Issues? No, it's the same one I've always had.
Oh. It says, John says, I'm Andy. Hulk is Joe. Some people are calling you Joe Rogan in here earlier. And that's
Joe Rogan's way better than Andy Garcia, I'll tell you that.
Bullshit, dude. Andy Garcia's a player, dude.
I'd rather be Joe Rogan.
Joe's a faker, dude.
Whoop some ass.
Joe's fake, dude.
He's fake, but he can whoop some ass.
Yeah, but Joe will just hire someone Andy will hire someone to take Joe out. And then we're trying to figure out about Chris. Let's see.
I'm just me, man.
No, dude, if Chris had blonde hair, he's that gay cook. The chef.
Oh my god, dude, he's freaking what's his name? You're fired? No, not you're fired.
What's it?
I'm
not as fat as Guy Fieri.
Australian
Guy Fieri. Oh, you here, you get some blonde.
He's Guy, dude. Holy shit, he's Guy. Oh my god, dude. That's good.
I'm not as heavy as him though. Yet. Give me a couple weeks.
Yeah, keep sucking that down.
Diner, drive-ins, and comics.
Yeah, you're El Polo Loco.
It's water.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Sure.
I don't know who Lyle Elzado is.
You don't know who Lyle Elzado is? Oh my
Tell
God,
me.
You are a comic nerd.
What is he in?
Football.
Oh.
Like, oh my God. You're one of those people. Like,
Jim
the guy
Belushi
hits a home run and you're like, touchdown.
No, dude, I'm a basketball guy.
Why? You're short and white.
Okay. Wait. Let me click on that.
Yeah, I can kind of see the Lyle Alzado thing a little bit.
Except he's like 7 feet tall and I'm not.
Well, yeah, and he could probably deadlift over 500.
Here we go.
Deadlift over 500 too.
I'm a leg press you.
I'll go leg press 1,000.
Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi.
Oh wow! All right, that's gone downhill for you.
Yeah, dude. You know what? It turns into everyone talking shit to me, and then starts to spread to you guys. And then we get close to the end.
Well, I don't know, man. Like I said, I could take Joe Rogan. That's cool. That's not. I wouldn't take that as an insult.
You're a lot fatter than Joe Rogan. He's got like abs.
I have. You watch? I'm out of season.
Oh, you're out of season.
Admit it. I'm not worried about it right now. Once summertime comes, I'll be back to my abs.
Don't go swimming. All right, there's chum in the water.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see come June. I'll show you the abs.
All right.
Because like I said, it's wintertime. I don't care right now. It's cold.
It's never wintertime in California. Cold is like 68 degrees.
Well, that's winter.
No, that's not winter. It's like
that's
10
winter.
degrees.
Dude,
it's like 10
in California,
degrees
that's winter, bro. Like
winter.
Where I live, man, in summertime, it doesn't go below 100. Like 100 is a normal day. Like 12 is like hot.
I'd kill myself.
That's what I'm saying. So like 68 here, dude, people lose their mind.
That's a warm day here. That's like t-shirts and shorts here.
Dude, like in the morning, it'll be like 50 degrees. And like my wife is like, she acts like it's like Antarctica and we're leaving the igloo. I'm like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I think like a month ago, I was talking to like Necro and he was like, oh, it's so cold here today. I have like 3 sweatshirts on and I'm freezing. And I was like, how cold is it? And he was like, it's like 64, man. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You're fucking with me right now.
RJ says Joe Rogan is now a second degree belt in blowjob.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
No, he says BJ.
Yeah, BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's not what it means.
Yes, it does, Andy Garcia.
It's code.
He does like 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
The hell's that?
It's like Eddie Bravo. It's like his own version of.
Dude, he doesn't even know who Lyle Alzado is. He's not going to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, don't hate.
It
wasn't real important for me to learn a lot about men. I was more interested in women.
Out with them and getting makeup tips and like talking about boys.
We didn't talk.
It's cool, man.
Well, I did.
As you're sitting on YouTube with 2 other dudes talking about comics.
Named Hulknutz.
Yeah, exactly. Issues. And a guy who dresses up in a big panda outfit.
Well, no, he doesn't anymore.
Oh, yeah, he does once in a while.
When?
I guarantee he does it. He puts that thing on
live
around his underwear at night, reading comics or something.
I'll do it right now. I don't care.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, he's a pussy. He won't do it.
Do what?
See? The panda hat, dude.
I don't have it in here.
See, dude, he's put it in a box in his garage. It's over. When he came out of the hat, dude, and people didn't freak out, it ended.
That's not true. I still have it.
I miss the hint. Okay, I just miss it.
I'll break it back out.
I miss it, dude.
It's in his daughter's room.
Oh, okay. Then I'll leave it in there. You leave it in there, dude. Your daughter likes it.
Hulkman, you're just like a mean person.
He is mean, dude. He is, you guys.
What are you trying to convince everybody?
He tries to get me to do some horrible shit sometimes.
You're just like mean-spirited. You're just like an angry elf.
John says I equal Peter Sellers from Pink Panther. What?
I don't even know who that is.
See?
John, you're too old.
You were looking at job straps and I was watching movies. Oh, shit. Peter Sellers is the guy that was in Inspector Clouseau in Pink Panther.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is or what that is.
You never seen Pink Panther, the movie?
No. Wasn't that a cartoon?
Well, yeah, but they have a movie where the guys...
It's terrible.
You never seen Kato?
Dude, I don't even know what you're talking about, I'll be honest.
Dude, you're so full of shit, dude.
Dude, I never watched a lot of TV as a kid.
Oh.
So I don't... Is that like...
I think that's worse than not knowing who Lyle, whatever his name is.
Lyle Alzado.
Yeah, fuck him.
Screw this Pink Panther guy.
I'm just joking. So there, everyone's talking about Hulk 15.
Yeah, but the Bennett wraparound cover is issue 16, which, by the way, we talked about that book last Comic Cartel show that we did. And have you seen the prices on that book since then?
It's nuts.
Can't you get it? What is it? $20, $5?
What's that?
How much is it?
Dude, they're selling for like they're pre-ordering now for over like $100.
No one knows what the hell's inside it.
It doesn't matter. Everyone's just specking. I said that last show. I said, if you're specking hard on Immortal Hulk and you think that there's going to be something big, I said issue 16 is a 1 for 25. And why would they do a 1 for 25 incentive variant on a meaningless book? There has to be something big. And at that point in time, you could still pre-order that book for like $40. And within like 3 days of our last show, I think they put out the cover art and then the book skyrocketed. Like people that had it on their site for $40 jacked it up into the 70s. Slabbed Heroes put a package together for like $250 to get like that cover, the other cover, and 10 copies of the regular cover. And now on eBay, they're pre-selling for $100 to $150 right now on eBay just for a raw copy of that 1 for 25.
Do that preview kind of like in its own little way after we talked about it, kind of said like implied Betty Ross or She-Hulk. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, but they're specking on like everything. If you look at the guys specking, they're specking on Rick Jones or inspecting on him being A-bomb. They're expecting
Harpy
on the Harpy. Well, they're expecting on Betty Ross as the Harpy or Rick Jones's wife being the, because she's the current Harpy. They're specking on Red She-Hulk. I mean, they just literally went through the whole cast and made everything, even the whole Devil Hulk there, which it's kind of ridiculous. They're just saying everything pretty much. They literally named every last person of significance in the whole run.
I know you do know that it's the anniversary on number 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not the 1 for 25 cover. That's
just I know. Like, it's a
regular price Alex Ross variant. He's doing 2 covers for the same book.
I think it's an educated guess that we can spec that if there's a 1 in 25 on a book that doesn't have variants like that it could be big. But at the same time, it is a guess. I think it's a smart guess. But
listen, if you pre-ordered it for $40 back when I was saying, hey, are you specking on this? And then you put it up on eBay for $100 and someone bought it, you doubled your money without ever holding the book in your hand. Most people would consider that a win.
No, I'm not arguing there. There's this thing now with the damn 1 in 25s, regardless of who's it's with. Those Zafinos are like,
yeah, those are crazy, and I love Zafino,
but the book is already crazy money for something we don't 100% know. And honestly, if it's I think somebody wrote in the chat the panels with the Harpy have been leaked, but dude, the Harpy was nothing. It's never been a significant part of Hulk continuity. The Betty Harpy thing was lame. Rick Jones's wife as the Harpy was lame.
Her first appearance isn't even sell for that high. It's just because it's a sub 200 Hulk book. It's relatively pricey to what it's around.
Yeah, 160.
What is that, like 165 or
168?
168.
Yeah, like that's.
It's always been like a $10, $12 book, anyways. And now I've seen it as high as like 30. But like I said, that's never been a big part of the storyline. The Red She-Hulk was a big.
Dude, we have to talk about this because I almost can't handle it anymore, dude. Like Immortal Hulk, guys, what's the deal? Is this going to fall apart? I think it's going to be garbage. That's my true feeling. It's going to be garbage in 6 months.
I don't think it's going to be garbage, but I don't think it's going to maintain what it is at now. I think if you have it, that you got it at cover price and you just want to collect it, and then don't listen to anything and just hold on to your books. But I think if you're one of those people who's like happy having a trade and you're looking to make some money, I think you're nearing like the to me, I think we're very close to the peak. I think at some point soon, I don't know, man. But you're not going to get to 20 issues and have people still paying like $80 for issue number 2. I just don't see it.
Well, yeah, that's why I dumped. That's why I sold my whole collection. But it's just like, dude, this is a new series. What is, dude? There's no real first. I mean, you have the first Immortal Hulk and Avengers. You got the number 2, which is the only big book right now. And I don't get it. It's one of those series that doesn't make any goddamn sense to me right now.
Because it's the flavor of the month.
Well, I think it makes sense.
The last 4 months, dude.
Yeah, I know, but you can go back in any time period, and there was books that made no sense. Like in the early 2000s, dude, I have all the books that were crazy hot in the early 2000s, and they were going for crazy money, and now they're $4 or $5 books.
There's a difference in print run, though, from then and now. Back then, it was millions. Now it's a low print, but still, it's like...
It's just how it
so
goes.
Crazy.
Things rise up when they're popular.
Well, you know what?
People
To be
are
perfect,
buying up them all, and it's going to drop back down as soon as, because eventually the excitement's going to wear off, and it's going to go back to the real Hulk fans reading Immortal Hulk, and then the people just hopping in are going to get bored because it can't maintain that level. No, I mean, how long can a run go and maintain that?
Right? It can't. I just think it's speculation is driving this, man. Because when Hulk #1 came out, like when Immortal Hulk 1 came out, people didn't buy it like crazy, man, because there hasn't been, and sorry, Joey, I know like you're a big Hulk fan, but there hasn't been a great Hulk book in a while. Like not a great Hulk book in a while. And so
it's a great book. Yeah.
Immortal Hulk, like a lot of people didn't jump on it right away. A lot of stores didn't order copies, a lot of copies, even of issue 1. So when people started kind of like getting into it, it was already up at like issue 5 or 6 when people really started jumping on the bandwagon and stores started jacking up their orders to be higher. So I don't know, like how it's just like Hulk said, it's that flavor of like people are kind of excited, but they're only like people who jumped in at 5 or 6 are less than 10 issues into it. Like you can't hold that forever. A lot of this stuff that's interesting to someone like Hulknutz is because he's read the past stuff. But to a lot of people, I think it's also just there's not a lot of other good books out there. There's a lot of really nice covers, but there's not a lot of really good stories.
Here, I'm going to compare this to another book. But first, Legend gave $5, which I have to split Legend with these guys. Fantastic $4.99. He says, Cartel preach the truth. Fans listen to these guys. They have tons of experience in the hobby. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. You know what I think is kind of funny is that Venom is killing it too. But dude, we have the first full null in there. Immortal Hulk. Okay, I'm not trying to hate on Immortal Hulk because it's a great book. But dude, Immortal Hulk is the Hulk, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, we talked about that. I agree.
Okay,
I think
we agree.
I think that hype on that is definitely going to die down where people are going to be like, well, at the end of the day, Hulk is Hulk.
But look, Cates is killing it too.
I don't think you can compare No yet because that's full on speculation. Like,
but we have
intro that character,
son of Venom now, and dude, apparently in this book, something huge going to be revealed today or Wednesday. There's a rumor, spec that something big is going to happen in Venom 12.
Right.
Most likely, he's probably who the hell knows,
dude. Listen, I read Venom, but I feel like Venom is different because Hulk's been around for a long time, and a lot of people are really into Hulk. Venom has been so like all over the map. Most people who have been reading for a long time, like when we first read about Venom, he was a bad guy. He's had multiple different runs with multiple different writers. There's been multiple different people in the suit. I don't think he has as big of a fan base as Hulk. I mean, because you're specking on Venom, dude. Like when Venom 3 came out, it was selling for like $60, $70, $80, $90 on eBay. You can get that book now for $20. That book really dropped back down.
Yeah, but not 9.8. I mean, no,
absolutely.
Not. You need a slab 9.8 Venom 3.
No, not a slab, dude. I don't buy slabs. I'm talking about a raw book. They were selling raw.
Oh yeah.
They were selling raw the week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that book came out for in between $60 and $100, and you can get them raw now for $20. That is a huge drop off. You know why? Because the fan base just isn't there. That shows you when people are just specking on a book for money.
Well, dude, it's the
know,
same thing as Immortal Hulk 2.
I want to add, though, I just want to add that all the books that are getting spec'd in Hulk, someone here said it like weeks before, just saying. Like all of them, every last one of them, I said we're going to blow up. They did.
Not all of them.
Dude, I literally got all of them nailed.
Not all of them.
I even have ones that haven't been mentioned, and now all of a sudden now they're getting popular. Just saying.
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just saying.
Dude, cool. Look, here's the thing. Like, this is a tough one, but I love Hulk. He's like he's in the top 3, you know, like him, Wolverine, and I don't know where and Venom's awesome. I love Venom too, but I just think it's weird. Like, I know we just kind of talked about it, but I think that Venom is a whole new thing too. It's a whole new story, but I don't know, dude. I guess what I'm saying is this Immortal thing is absolutely insane, is what I'm saying. And it's gonna dump. I'm glad I dumped it. I hope I'm not wrong. I mean, it
might ride out a bit more until all these, like, the real heavy speculation, I think, is starting to happen. But like I've told everybody, like all those old Hulk books that have been getting hot now, I'm like, dude, you should dump them now. Like, you know, the first Devil Hulk stuff that's getting popular now, I'm like, dump them. Like, dude, if you can get $40 a book for them, like, they hit some.
What number is that book?
12 and 13.
What?
12 and 13 of the one run, and then like what's 619 and 620 of the other.
Is like the next one that hasn't, like, really, it's starting to hit. But like I told you that one how long ago?
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago.
Dude, the 2008 run you're talking about with the Red She-Hulk?
No. The 12 and 13 is not that run. It's a different series.
It's like 2000 something. Like
there's a 2000 and a 2008.
So it's a 2000.
The 12 and 13 are from like the 2000 run.
Okay.
And people are selling those as like package deals for like 40.
Yeah,
50,
can you? 60. I don't know if you could see them. Those are the covers.
Kind of hard to see on there.
I know, that's as big as I could get it.
You just turn down the light and then you can see it. Turn down the light on the phone.
I know. Give me a second. Jesus.
I saw you look up.
You said turn down the light.
Yeah, on your phone.
Yeah, like that. Dude, I am technologically impaired, so.
Top right corner, swipe down.
Top right corner, swipe down.
Did I just open up a whole new world for you?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
it's a whole new world.
Oh.
It's like that scene in Zoolander when they say like the files are in the computer and they start like smashing it. That's what it feels like when you give Hulk
Yeah. It's funny, dude. You're like on like the caveman, like on the computer smashing it.
Hey, I admit it, man. I'm not an interweb wizardry guy. I don't do technology, man.
You're an interweb, right, dude. Look, he's looking it up right now, dude, because we have to watch it, dude. Uh-oh, here we go.
What is he doing now?
He's finding you, dude. It's like, there he is.
I can't see him.
It's like Hulk with issues his hairdo. Oh, dude, I you know what? I don't know if we can watch this.
So wrong.
Actually, I don't think we can watch this, dude. You got to turn it off, dude. I think it's like copyright. But yeah, that's you. I want to watch it, but I can't, dude. I have to lock off of you, dude.
You're such a baby.
Dude, I'm not. Hey, when you get banned for 3 months, you fucking think about shit differently. Anyway. So, are we in agreement that you think it's going to drop down?
I think it's going to drop. I don't think it's going to tank. I mean, they're not going to be like dollar bin books. They're probably not even going to be cover price books, but they're going to be significantly cheaper within the next like 3 to 4 months, I think.
Damn, I think we might have to ban the legend because he said something that is horrible.
What? What are you babbling about?
I don't know if I should maybe just block it anyway. Like
incest thing. He meant invest.
I know.
He said he meant invest.
I'm going to look, I love you, but just in case, I'm removing that one. Just in case, I'm removing that one, legend. Yeah, honestly, I wish I bought more and more. I mean, I have a lot of number ones and I have a lot of multiple of other ones, but you know, I was just buying one at a time. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not a multiple guy for anything. I just, you know, I think now more than ever, I feel like a lot of people are realizing that they play this game where you're hunting for stuff because someone else says it's worth something, or you're hunting for stuff because, you know, like Hulk said it before, like Pavlov's dogs, right? Like you're conditioned, your alerts go off, or Key Collector tells you that there's like a book that could be optioned or spec'd or whatever, and you go out like you're programmed obsessively to buy it, and then you wake up like a month later and you have a short box full of books that you don't care about. You don't care about at all. They're not books you even open and read because someone else told you that they could be worth money. And I've gotten finally away from that enough where I don't really check those anymore. Like I don't check the alerts really, and I don't go to eBay to look at prices because I know this just is something I don't care about. Like I like reading Immortal Hulk, so I can get that at cover price when it comes out on Wednesdays. I don't care about any of those back issues because I can read about them on Wikipedia or I can ask Hulk about them. I don't have to go spend like $30 for a $2 book because someone told me it's relevant to today's series. I think that's, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. You know, I know you're heavier on like the money side of it, but I just feel like that's so silly. And I think a lot of collectors, just from talking to people on Instagram and communicating with other, you know, readers, collectors, like I feel like a lot of people are starting to feel the same way. I think they're feeling fatigued by all of this, you know, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's overwhelming, man. People can't, you know, you can't afford to spend like, you know, a car payment on like comic books every month for things that you don't even care about reading.
No, and that's what I said. I've cut down to just the stuff I absolutely like, and then once in a while, like dessert, I'll get something extra. But I mean, like, so Immortal Hulk, it's cool. It's got the hype train behind it right now. But I mean, I buy it regardless, and then I end up with a collection I enjoy a lot more than buying all kinds of stuff. Because, like I said, in the early 2000s, I got in on the hype train like that. I used to buy everything that was popular. And, you know, now I have long boxes full of stuff, dude, you can't give away. Like, you literally cannot give it away. And at one point, some of the issues were stupid crazy. Like, I don't know, like, anybody who remembers, like, the Tomb Raider books, when those came out, and Aphrodite X, and Just the Pilgrim, and...
I'll take all that. Give me it all if you don't want.
No, I'm not saying it's a good read and stuff, but it's not like what I truly enjoy. I don't like look at it and go, oh wow, this is awesome. Or like even the first like Ultimate Spider-Mans, those things got like stupid crazy. Like they were going for $100, and now you can't sell for anywhere near that, and it's almost 15 years later. And I just think Immortal Hulk and a lot of these issues, I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, it's fine with me. It keeps it popular.
You know what's funny? Dude, it's funny is like, we're saying this right now, right? Like, you can't buy that stuff. It's just all garbage. But haven't you noticed, like, the last 2 years, Netflix and all them buying up all the old garbage? And now all the old garbage that we thought was garbage is not garbage anymore. And then now we have another form of garbage that still hasn't hit yet, but it's I mean, I get it. X-Force and all those. Some of those are just mass.
Yeah, but look how long you got to hold on to them.
But that's the
how
whole
many guys hold on to 20 years ago? How many people really have books? I mean, yeah, this chat's probably different because these are going to be more serious collectors. But I'm saying the average person into comics, do they have comics from back in the 80s that they held on to, or even the 90s? You know how many people liquidated their 90s collections? And dude, I bought so many 90s collections that people got rid of.
Well, that's almost all that's left.
No, but I'm saying I agree with you. Yes, things come back in, like they come full circle. It's like fashion, like anything else. But how many people really are going to hold on to books that long? Not a lot of people do that because you eventually do. Like me, I'm to a point I really can't buy quantity anymore. I have to go with exactly what I want because I just don't have the room.
You got space on those shelves back there for some more short boxes?
No, because dude, if you saw what was on the floor right now,
how many dead bodies are on the floor?
Dude, I've been digging through all the past Hulk issues because people have been asking me to look up certain things. So like literally I have like 8 short boxes all surrounding me, all opened and issues everywhere, trying to find stuff and see when the first this or the first that or is coming up. But I'm saying eventually you got to get to a point where you got to stop buying crap.
I feel like I keep going back and forth. I mean, unfortunately, it seems like we always come to this. Like every time we have the cartel, we get back to this point where I'm starting to feel like weird about how I collect. It's just, you know, because of the channel, I got to do that show, and I love doing the spec show. And I try to make it clear that it's stuff I like and based on covers or keys or whatever, and give information for the spec people out there that we're actually kind of talking about, the people that just go buy everything, and then the people that know what they're doing and can pick and choose out of what I talk about. But I'm finding myself even going out there. I'm a fan of a cover. I'm a cover fan. I mean, I like a good read and I have a pull list. But dude, if I see a rare variant or cover, dude, it's like I can't stop myself. It's a true addiction.
I feel the same way, but most of those incentives and stuff that I love that I cover by are still books that I read. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking like you tell me like last week, like you tell me, oh, Magnificent Miss Marvel has these hot variant covers that people like. It doesn't matter to me because I don't read that book and I have no interest in reading that book. So as nice as that cover is, it doesn't mean anything to me because unless you're going to flip that like that day, you're more often than not, you're going to lose your money. You know how often, you know what? Here's a perfect example. I like Daredevil a lot. And I've really enjoyed the new series. And when issue 2 came out, there was like a 1 for 25 incentive variant by Matteo Scalera that was really nice. And I really liked it. And I went out that day and I paid like $21 for it. You can get that book on that was just a month ago, like 4 weeks ago. And you can get that cover on eBay for like $7 now.
Dude, that like last week, right? The Miss Marvel you're talking about, right? All I did was I didn't say it was hot or nothing. I just said there's a regular and a variant, right? That cover's garbage. Okay. And it says last week $55. That book was selling for $55. Does that make any sense to you? Like,
yeah, it's all about
low print and garbage. I didn't.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's all about print run, man. That's my point. So if you're gonna base your buying comics off of what the market is going to do, you can't even take into an account like what cover looks good. You have to really be more about
print run,
what the print run is, so that like, you know, because that's what I always try to tell people. And we did that once on our show with Hulk. I said it's very simple, man. Not all incentive variants are created equal. A 1 for 25 of 5 different titles is not the same thing. Because there could be 1,000 print run of one and there could be a 200 print run of another. So a 1 for 25, the rarity of it is much different. And so people who don't know any better just think to themselves, that's a 1 for 50. I got to overpay for that.
Let me ask you this, like, and I think this might be a tricky question because I don't really know the print runs. we all know that when Immortal Hulk first started, it was a reasonably low print run, not a big one. But you have to believe now that it's probably one of the biggest print run books out there now because it's so hot.
I mean, it's definitely a top 10 book, and it's probably getting up near the big guns of
like 80,
it's not
100,000.
a Batman or Spider-Man book, but it's
Batman's a best-selling book every year.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not in that like top tier, but it's probably well in the top 10
in regard to print run now. Like it was
from issue 6 on, maybe 7 on, it has to be probably triple what it was for issues like 1 through 4.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people might not realize that either, that's going to make the value drop even more. But
this is my point. When you base it off speculation, this is what upsets me, man. It's not that I have a problem with speculation. It's that I have a problem with people not educating themselves on it. Here's a perfect example I'm going to give you. Batman Damned is overpriced, right? Because of the Batwang. But at the end of the day, it was not a huge print run book. It was the first DC Black Label. It was an unknown property. Nobody knew if it was going to really be good or not. It was a $7.99 price point. It was magazine size. There was all these issues that were keeping stores from over ordering on that book. And so most shops under ordered, and then the book blew up. Partially because of the Batwing, but also because people liked the format, they liked the condition of the book, and the art and the story were actually good, right?
Dude, you know what? I agree with you to a point. What happened? It blew up because of the dick.
Okay.
Not because of the art was good and the writing was good, even though it blew up because of the dick.
So then when they put out orders for issue 2, what happened? Every store over-ordered.
Yeah.
And everyone sitting at home ordered 6 copies apiece of each cover, thinking that they were about to make hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
You can walk into most shops now and still find Damn #2 on the shelf.
Oh, I don't disagree with you there.
So that's my point. If you're going to be in that game, if you want to play the speculation game, the quick flip game, right? That's the difference between speculation and investment. That's what everyone loves to say. Investing is buying a book that's a big book and hoping gradually over time that you maintain or increase your money. Speculation is that quick flip. If you're able to order a cover before FOC and someone's telling you it's a hot cover, don't order it. It's not a hot cover. Because now everyone and their mom is going to order 1 million copies. True or false?
Wait, what? So okay. Let's just pretend it's
all right.
me.
If FOC,
FOC, that's 2 months away.
No, that's like 3 weeks away. FOC is 3 weeks. Final order cutoff on a book is 3 weeks before its release date. It's the Monday 3 weeks before the release.
Okay, but there's
it's 24 days before the book comes out.
That's the cutoff. Yeah, you're right. The cutoff, but they have the advance of 2 months. But go ahead.
Right, you have an advance of 2 months, but at 2 months, most artwork's not available. So what a lot of people really look at is the FOC. There are still circumstances under which artwork is not released prior to FOC, or sometimes it's released like the day of FOC. You know what that translates to? That translates to books like Harley 57.
They're hiding.
Cho had been doing those B covers. They weren't very popular. People didn't really dig them. The art for 57 got released like 2 days before FOC, and just nobody was paying attention to it. Everyone just thought it was going to be Cho. Inside that book still says Cho did the variant cover. That's why that book took off. So what happened? That book took off, was selling for $20, $30, $40. What happened? Everyone and their mom went out and ordered a buttload of 58 and 59. You can't keep trying to, lightning doesn't strike twice in the same spot. You can't keep jumping on, this issue sold well last week, I better buy the next one.
I understand.
That's not how it works.
I agree what you're saying. I do agree with you too. But I will say this. In most likely, I will give you, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 70% right on that, okay? And I'm going to say 30% wrong because those next 2 covers were Chew variants and they were freaking sick, okay? So after you see that one variant, which of course had the error in it, which was something that was released later and was a sick cover by another artist and was a key, that's why that book was hot. It was a 3 killer. And then 58 and 59 are the Chew variants that are gorgeous. And people, after the hotness of Harley, that's why I'm giving you the 70% from that one book, carried over to the next ones. And it just so happened to be Chew's variants, which are sick too. There's no key and there's no error. But yeah, it's an over-ordered book because of that first one. But I mean, I still bought those books because I love them. Like, I love those covers. But
I'm just saying,
I understand.
When you jump on it late, then it just leads to straight up cover buying. And like Batgirl 23, Batgirl 23 is worth so much money because the print one was so low.
Yeah.
But then 24 is still slightly higher, like a $10 to $15 book, because FOC sort of had already passed and people were like, oh, Middleton's doing really sick. Everything since then, 25 through 30, whatever that we're up to, none of those books are ever sell for more than $1 or $2 over cover. No, and they're really gorgeous covers. They're really, really nice. But everyone's on it already. The B covers are open order, and every store in the world is putting 30 copies of Batgirl.
Well, no, so I think it comes down to there's nothing wrong with speculation, but honestly, if you're relying on someone else to give you the information to speculate on a book, you're doing it wrong.
That's my point. That's what
I'm saying. I agree with you that if you're relying on a list or a YouTube channel or wherever you get your information, if you're getting your information from someone else, that means 100,000 other people have the same information and they're buying the same books or speculating on the same books, and that goes against what speculation is.
See, here's the problem that I'm having with this conversation.
I believe.
We're talking about me. We are talking about me right now. That's where the contradiction or where my issue begins. It's not. I'm not arguing that what you're saying is wrong. I'm saying, like, damn, dude, like, you're in essence, you're talking about my channel because that's what I'm doing. Like,
well, no. I'm not saying you're
not in a bad way.
Wrong.
Not in a bad way.
I'm talking like to the chat.
I know, but I mean,
no, but I'm saying, I'm saying you have to learn how to guess what the market's going to want, not wait till the market is buying said book. You need to you can't go with the trends. You have to kind of do your own thing and guess where the hot book is.
And there's varying levels of that because, like, Bill, you do your show where you show books 2 weeks in advance.
That's the best I can do. I'm trying my...
No, I get it. So 2 weeks in advance maybe still gives people an opportunity, if they see something they like, to be able to jump on eBay or one of these websites and still get it for around cover price.
And that's the point of my channel. But
within 2 or 3 days of release date, they're all gone. There's nowhere online you can still get it, and everything on eBay for the good-looking covers is already going to be jacked up. And then what happens is that puts anticipation in people's minds. You get scared, right? You let yourself be controlled by what the market is doing, unbeknownst to you. Subconsciously, you're going on eBay and being like, oh, shoot, people already want $25 for this Harley cover. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it tomorrow. And you pay $25 for it, and then you get to your shop the next day, and it's on the shelf for $3.99. That turns people off. That's why that's our point that we're trying to make, is that 2 weeks or so in advance, or if you're somebody who does your own research and you're reading previews or you're staying up to date on the news, where you can say, well, I want to guarantee myself this book, I like this run, or I like this artist, or I think this is going to do good, then you can pre-order those books in advance through online retailers or put it in your pull list and pay cover price or under for it. And that's great. That's smart speculation if you're going to be a speculator. But if you're waiting until 1, 2, 3 days before release date to start trying to buy a book,
or when that bell goes off, you wait for that bell to go off, dude, you're done. Like,
here's the thing. I love the Key Collector app, but what I use it primarily for is understanding books in my collection.
Right.
Or filling holes in my collection, or knowing when I'm digging through an old bin of Ghost Rider books, like which ones are the key ones I want to grab. But if you're just following it for the spec of the bell,
Yeah.
Unless you're able to get on eBay and buy the first one you see for $2, you're gonna lose, man. You're gonna lose.
Well, here's the thing: is you're gonna look. Okay. I'll say on my keys of the week, which comes out tonight at midnight, right? Like, if you can't find it, go to eBay. But that's like my last step, because I would rather someone pre-order watching a video I did 10 days ago than go to eBay. But usually that is the last step. And dude, the worst thing is I'll spec on a video, right? And I try to do my best to spec the right one. It's so hard, dude. But I'll go to the comic store and there'll be people online going, "Hey, Bill, economics." And I'll get in and they're buying my spec book before I can get it.
Well, no, and that's what we're saying. Like, I'm saying if you're truly in it to try and make money and you're buying books purely just to flip, if you're relying on someone else to tell you, you're kind of behind the 8 ball, and you're never going to really, you don't understand the rules of the game.
Well, I know, but we're talking about, like,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
No. Most people that watch YouTube, though, like, I think most of the people that are in here right now watching and us talking, I would say we've graduated from that step. But I think that a lot of people that watch me and other channels that are new or trying to get into it or whatever, they're caught up in. I think we're all caught up in the hype. I got to be honest with you. I think whether you like it or not, we're all caught up.
Who buys comic books has done it. I've done it many a times. I got emotional, not emotional, but that's kind of a strong word. But I get too excited, too anxious, and next thing I know, I bought something and I get it, and I'm looking at it at home going, "Oh, why did I pay that much for it?"
We're human beings. Impulse buying is.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it happens to everybody. It happens to seasoned collectors. It happens to new collectors. But I'm saying, and in our one video, when Bueller was on, when he got butthurt when I was saying, most people are dumbasses. I don't mean that like in a harsh way, like people are truly dumbasses. I'm saying we all make dumb decisions without doing any sort of research or looking into things and relying on other people who knows what their motivations are, or if they know what the hell they're talking about. And you make purchasing decisions based on other people. And if you're doing that, I mean, honestly, there's no other word for it. You're going to lose. You're going to end up with a bunch of books that ain't going to be worth squat 99% of the time.
And it's, Sunshine was saying in the chat that, that people come to YouTube as a source of information, and that it's up to people who are on YouTube to give them good information. And I do agree with that. I think that's been the basis of why Hulk and I started our show to begin with, is because we felt like there was an excess of people on YouTube giving information out, but we didn't feel like it was always good information, that sometimes it was self-serving information, or it was information without, like, you have to give like a caveat of like, these are the parameters. This is like the mistakes you can make. So you really feel like you're giving people guidance, because you're absolutely right, Bill. Everything I'm talking about, I've done. I said I've been a slave to the key collector bell. I've said I've gone into the store and overpaid for variants that drop in price. Like, I've gone to eBay and impulse bought a book without checking past sales and overpaid. We all do it. We've all done it. So I'm not saying, hey, if you're watching this, you're an idiot because you did that. No, I did it too. Like, we're all idiots. Like, we've all made those mistakes.
No, that's what I'm saying. We've all made dumbass mistakes, myself included, many of times. Like, almost everything that we've talked about in our videos, I say them because I've done them. Like, I've, bought books out of impulse. I've overpaid for books many a times. I fell into the whole speculate. Like, dude, the early 2000s, I pretty much was one of these guys who listened to Wizard magazine. Oh, Hot 10 list. And I'd go out and buy like everything. I mean, I did it. It happens, but like I said, I'm also trying to learn from it and hopefully just tell people like, hey, these are the pitfalls of doing it this way. And like I said, I have a long career of comic book collecting with plenty of mistakes. I mean, I have long boxes full of mistakes.
Let me ask you this. Like, I like you guys. I trust you guys. That's why we're doing this, and we talk all the time. Like, and that I do spec videos and new comic book day videos and keys videos and hot covers and all that shit. And I do I do everything. But like, if you were going to advise me, like, 'cause look, I guess my deepest fear is I don't want to be like what we're talking about, but I am in that world. So like if so it bothers me all the time, you know, like it's like, am I creating some weird shit? Even though
No,
I'm
man.
not.
I think if you're giving, this is my point. I think if you're giving people tools and you're giving them advice and you're making it clear that like this is what I think, then I don't think there's any like I don't think there's harm in that. Otherwise, you know how I feel a little bit about speculation.
Well,
I
like,
don't think that we would be friends the way that we're friends if I felt like you were doing something that was a disservice to people who
okay.
are watching. Like I don't think that. Like I watched your videos prior to us interacting with each other before I started on YouTube. So I think that my point is there's value in watching that stuff, and even if you're not a speculator, there's value in knowing what's going on in the comic book world. That's why I keep up on it. It's not because I'm going to flip books every Wednesday. It's because I need to stay, in my mind, as a collector, to be responsible. I need to kind of stay hip to like what's going on in the market and what's going on with books and what titles are
like without spending a whole
Well, it's
day
just fun
looking.
to see all the new stuff. I mean, honestly, I don't really keep up with any of the new stuff coming out. I literally rely on YouTube. Like, Panda always hits me up, says, "Hey, here's the new Hulk book coming out. Oh, the 1 in 25 is coming." Like, I didn't even know about the 1 in 25 for issue 16 until he told me, because I don't keep up with that stuff. That's not my area, and that's why I watch guys like you. But yeah, I mean, like we said, just I think more people on YouTube need to teach, to steal Sunshine's words, Timmy's. I use dumbasses, whatever, fine, all right. How to be a better buyer so you don't end up in these holes. But I mean, if you want to speculate, I mean, it's fun. I do like sometimes trying to predict, movie speculation or stuff like that. It's fun, but like I said, you could definitely get caught
That's like
up
a
in
whole
the
new
massive
world now for us, the movie spec. It's a whole.
it's definitely, like you said, it's a fun game. It's just that, like, I don't know, man. It's like we said, I don't think we ever mean it in like a disparaging way to say like people are being dumb. That's not what we're saying, but it's sort of like that. It's that like dad attitude, that dad philosophy of like, I'm trying to teach you a lesson so you don't have to make the mistake. Like, I want you to learn from my
But
mistake.
I mean, we definitely include ourselves in those words. Like when I say dumbass, I include myself in
No,
that
but
because
that's what I'm
spent
saying.
years in the dumbass stage.
I'm not standing on a pedestal and saying, "Oh, you should listen to us because
Right.
we know everything." We're saying, "Hey, man, like I've made all these mistakes. I've done tons of stupid stuff in my collecting career, and all I'm trying to do is tell you my 2 cents on maybe how you can avoid that mistake and keep a few extra dollars in your pocket and not sit down 6 months from now and be like, damn, I messed up."
Yeah.
But I also will say, I like everybody speculating because it makes all the old Hulk books so much cheaper. Like I just bought a Hulk #2, first Green Hulk, for $200 in a 3.5. Like I'm fine with it. Everybody wants to buy all this new stuff. I'm cool with it because then I can keep buying the old Hulk stuff at a resale, and I have no competition.
I think when I talked to Sunshine in the past, that was one of his biggest things that he was upset about the current market, is that sometimes it seems like people pushing newer books, it's almost like a smokescreen. If I can get everyone to go run out and spend all their money on these new books that aren't actually really worth much, it leaves less people competing for the actual good books, because that's investing. If you're buying good Bronze Age, if you're buying Silver Age books, those books are good investing because those books have been around for 20, 30, 40 years and have maintained or raised their value, and they're staying consistent. So if you want to plug your money in somewhere where you know it's going to maintain, those are the books that you should be buying. But if you go out and spend $20 on a book that came out 2 weeks ago, you're really like, it's like, I mean, we keep circling back to Immortal Hulk. There's people out there who spend $80 on issue #2. I'm sorry, man, but I don't see that book staying $80, and I don't see it getting much higher. It's still going to drop down. And so is that a smart investment? No. But if you took $80 out and you went and bought like an older ASM title or an older title or an older Fantastic Four title, those books are going to maintain their value.
But I also think too, I think a lot of people, it comes down to this is kind of not even just a comic issue, just everything. They don't want to save up. They just want to go, okay, I got $25 to spend. I'm going to go and buy this cool issue. I don't want to save up $300 to go buy this one older issue. I think a lot of collectors just want to spend money. So they'd rather go buy this 1 in 25 variant for $40 or whatever it is going for, instead of saving their money, cutting their pull list, and buying the bigger, not the huge keys. I mean, if you got that kind of budget, cool. But like for me, like $200 to $500 is something I got to save a little bit for, and then I can eventually buy. And I've been able to do that now that I cut back my titles quite a bit. Like I said, I'm down to I only do 5 books a month. That's it. And now I've just been putting my money into old stuff. Like I said, I just bought a Hulk #2. I've been buying Hulk 102s because, dude, there's like no competition. I was on one on eBay and there was like 8 bids on a 102. And I mean, I got an 8.5 for $110.
Dude, I mean, to me, like, that's...
I haven't even gotten it in the mail yet. So it was like in the last 4 days. That's what I'm saying. There's like no competition on these old books. And then when these ones that get hot, like the first Harpy, the first Devil Hulk, like I'm saying, that Devil Hulk stuff is lame, dude. Those are dollar books.
Right. So how are you spending $50 on that when you could get, I'm just saying, I get what you're saying. You got to really save up for those bigger books, but even just decent wall books, you could walk into a shop and be like, I'm going to get Avengers Annual #7 with $60 instead of buying, 10 new comics on Wednesday. Like, which one?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I think people don't want to save up the money. They don't want to walk out with, I spent $100. I got 1 book versus I spent $100 and I have a stack of books.
But that stack of books, the second you walk out of the shop, is generally worth less money than you just paid for it. It's like buying a new car, right? People always say you buy a new car, the minute you drive it off the lot, it's depreciated like 15%. The second you hit the road, you already lost 15%. That car is worth less money than you just signed over to the dealership.
And that's how I've been looking at it. Like,
that's what new comics are. They are a new car, and the second you walk out the store, they have depreciated. When you buy a wall book, but when you buy a wall book and you walk out of the store with it, it is, if you didn't overpay, if you did your research, that book is still worth the same amount of money when you get home as it was when you bought it. And in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, it could be worth significantly more. It's not going to be worth much less because those books have a somewhat guaranteed value based off that sample size of how long they've been around and what they've been able to accomplish as a book.
Right. Oh, no, I agree. But like I said, I just think the motivation for buying the shiny new book is just like the car. It looks cool. You see it in the moment. And you get excited. And I've done it. I've literally picked up my pool list and then see some, some variant or some 1 in 25 and go, oh my God, I got to have it. And I buy it and literally it's almost immediate regret. It's, but like I said, so I understand why people do it and I don't bag on them. I'm just saying, like, since I stopped doing that, like, I've significantly increased my quality back issues. Like I said, like Hulk 102s. The Tales to Astonish, Hulk 105, someone mentioned. I think that's a great book to be buying, even if you're just an Immortal Hulk guy. I'm just saying, like, I just think the new issue thing could be a massive pitfall because you see the price tags of some of these other books and you don't want to just wait a couple weeks or however long it takes you to save, forego some of these new shiny ones and just wait and get one good quality one. And I get it. It's hard because I go to the store. I get depressed sometimes. Literally, I'm walking around looking at all these new stories. Going, man, I want to read that.
Here's what I think. Like, I really want to try to. I've been really thinking about it a lot because I've been buying a shitload of new books, and I have to stop. And I would. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. Yeah, it's my thing, but it's also for information to the public. So
But
they
that's what
can.
I'm saying. That's your thing, though. Like but you
Yeah,
also
but I don't
want
have
new
to
books.
buy it all. I don't have to buy it all though.
Yeah,
Like
you
I have,
don't
like
have to buy it all to show it to people.
no, but I mean, dude, look, honestly, my pull list is freaking insane because I like to create runs. So I have like 20 some titles or more, but a lot of them are independent because I'm jumping all over, but there's a point to it. I've been reading the independents. I love the new shit, the new independent stuff.
Right.
Those stories are pulling me in more than any other of the old stories. They just are. I'm enjoying new shit.
Well,
And
no, and that's fine if you like new stuff. I'm saying, like, I'm not bagging on anybody buying anything new. I'm not saying that,
no,
but I'm saying if you're in it for the money, I don't think new is good unless you're really sharp and know the
here's
game.
my problem. Like someone like me can make a shitload of money flipping new books because I'm giving you the information and I already know it before you.
And that's exactly what I was saying.
But my problem is I'm not doing that. I'm not flipping. I'm hoarding. So my point is this.
Yeah, if you deal drugs, you can't use drugs, buddy. That's how it works.
Yeah, you're right. I'm getting high on my own supply.
Exactly.
So, but I still get my pulls. I'll still get my pulls, but I'm not hunting anymore, except for maybe like one book that I just absolutely have to have because I feel like it's going to be that key or that low print or whatever that I really need. Now, I'm going to give the information like I always do to these guys because I have been killed for years not knowing it early enough. And I'm doing my best to get as early as possible, but still, you're competing against a lot of people out there that know what they're doing. But I personally have to stop. I would rather slow it down, get my pulls, and then buy a key off the wall like you're saying. Because honestly, if I see an Amazing Spider-Man 252 on the wall and I get it for like $60 and it's clean, I'm buying it. And then I'm happy. Like I would rather hoard that than a bunch of, Avengers 6 that we just had with Yasmin Putri. As much as I love her covers, I gotta stop being enticed by the covers, dude, and the low print. And I think it's all happened. I'm trying to everything we've been talking about. I think it's all started from the stupid movies. Because the movies created this whirlwind of spec in the last 10 years that have nothing to really do with comic books. And then now everyone's into it again. And they're like, what's going to be the new hot thing like Walking Dead or whatever, first appearance of whoever 30 years ago that we can buy a shitload of now that are lower print, that are 1 in 25 ratios. And let's just get it all because in 30 years, it's going to be worth so much more. But the truth of the matter is, it won't be. The old shit is where the money's at. Right? Am I kind of...
Yeah, you know what my problem is too, man, is that someone in the chat said it too, that a lot of newer stuff has a lower print run. I think what you have to take into account, what bothers me about the print run argument, right, is that anything is a low print run in comparison to what was being printed up in the 90s.
Yeah.
So let's be careful where we talk about low print run because there's other factors besides just the print run. And here's a huge factor that people don't talk about enough. When people were buying books in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, a lot of people weren't bagging and boarding their comics.
Yeah.
A lot of kids were reading comic books and treating them like crap and coloring in them. People were writing their names on the front or in the pages. You know what I mean? Like people were tracing over it to learn how to draw comic book characters and stacking them in chests in a basement where they got musty and gross. So finding copies of those books in good condition was harder.
Yeah.
We are in an era
Yeah.
where most stores are bagging and boarding your books for you, and every collector and speculator out there is immediately taking their books home, and not even half of you are reading them. And even if you are, they're going right back into a bag. They're getting sealed shut. They're being kept safe in boxes.
And slabbed.
So the number of books, 10, 15, 20 years from now, from this era that are going to be in pristine shape is going to be so much larger than it was in the past.
Yeah.
So we can't stop getting caught up in the print run, because it's really about how many solid books are going to survive. A lot.
And how many people want those books that have survived.
Exactly. Supply and demand. If there's 3,000 copies at a 9.8 and only 20 people want it, guess what? Your book ain't worth shit.
But then again, there's books that will completely counter your art that point. I mean, honestly, like, look, yeah, like you said, the print runs don't really matter, and even the availability doesn't matter, because there's books that there's a ton of them, even in high grade, and yet they still go for a shit ton of money.
But there's a lot of books that are 500, 1,000, 1,500 print run. That's pretty goddamn low.
It is, but it doesn't matter if nobody wants them. I mean, you
Right.
know how many dynamic forces
I get
variants
that,
came
but there
out
are
in
some.
the 2000s that were limited to 499 prints, and I see them in dollar bins at conventions. I mean, and they were in demand in the day. Back in the day, they were. Like I said, because I have a ton of all the in-demand books back in the day. That, like I said, the Aphrodites, the Tomb Raiders, the Just the Pilgrims, I'm trying to remember them all. And there was a bunch of dynamic forces variants, 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000. And they came with their little certificate of authenticity. And now they're dollar books. I couldn't give them away on Instagram. And I know you'll say,
I think we're all in agreement. I think we're kind of all in agreement that I think that everything's been said's been right on the money, is basically what I think. I mean, I hope you guys agree. I do agree with everything. I know as myself, as a collector, as I know what I'm doing right now for myself and for the channel, I can do the same thing that I've been doing for the channel without bankrupting myself. And I am bankrupting myself. So, and that's why I'm liquidating my shit every couple days. But if from now on, if I'm going to spend the money on the extra anything besides my pull list, it's going to be an old key that I love. And I think that's kind of the way to go. If you get lucky enough to find a good spec that lasts time, like that video I did where the like 5 keys from last year that might last, you know, Batman Who Laughs, Immortal Hulk, or whatever the hell it was, the Batwing. But there aren't a lot of them. It was hard to make a list of 5. It really was. So,
no, it would be interesting to somebody to go back and pull like all those hot 10 lists and see how many books actually really
I don't have the
to test the time.
I don't have the time, but
no, I mean, I don't really care, to be honest, in terms of to do the research. I'm saying if someone else did it, that would be interesting, because I read old Wizard magazines, and most of those issues, I'm like, all right, these are dollar bin at best. I mean, every once in a while, yeah, when they were like New Mutants 98 or something like that, yeah. But it seems like most 90% of the lists are dollar bins now. And it seems that way. It's going to be that way now. Because I can go back 6 months and look at a Hot 10 video, and none of those books are on anybody's radar anymore. But that's my opinion.
And I agree with you, Bill, too. The movies, when it comes down to that stuff, really changed the game.
Like, everything's changed.
Yeah, but movies really changed the game, man, because it just brought a whole new element. Like, every time there's a movie rumor, just books are like up and down like a roller coaster, right? Like there was a point in time where, like, you know, like anything with like the Fantastic Four annual, what is that, number 6 with the Nihilist, was like spiking because like, oh, people think he's gonna be the bad guy.
It's stupid.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, books spike just based off one little rumor, you know, in a movie.
What's crazy is 10 years ago I could have got Iron Man 55 for $100, and then 9 years, 8 years, and as soon as we knew about Infinity War, and that book freaking skyrocketed to find a first Thanos. You know, and what I think the problem is that not only that, when I was working at the shop, we get these young guys in there. They'd come in, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm like computer tech guy. He's like 20 years old and he's making a shitload of money, right? And he's like, I just want to buy all the keys. Do you have any suggestion about keys? And I'm like, well, yeah. He had no idea about comics. So it's bringing in this world that isn't into comics as well. and like a stock market speculation feel, which the movies have created it, which is great for us because it raises the prices of our keys, but at the same time, it's turning the market into a damn, all from the movies is what I'm saying. It has changed new books into spec market too now, where it wasn't like that a couple years ago, where people were specking so hard on new books too. It's a whole new animal, dude. And I don't think it has anything really to do with the actual hobby.
So do you
But I
think it's
think
good or bad?
the publishers know that too, and that's why they're playing this game. Like, if you look at like the upcoming books, every week there's like multiple first appearances, and so that's like everyone has that fear of missing out. Where I have to go to a store, I have to buy every DC and Marvel first appearance this week because I don't want to be the guy 10 years from now who's like, damn, I could have had that $5,000 book for.
That's what it's doing.
Everyone's scared of missing out on like the Edge of Spider-Verse, like #2. Like how many people bought that book when it first came out? People were like, Spider-Gwen, what is this? Edge of Spider-Verse, whatever. Dude, that, it's a big book now. Everyone just has that fear. Everyone has that fear of missing out. And so that's what's driving people to buy so many new books. And
RJ asked if I wish it would change, if I wish the whole spec thing would crash.
No, I don't think that that's good. I mean, I don't think you want any of it to crash because there's going to be collateral damage to that. I think it would be nice to see
feeding the hobby. It's good for the hobby. I think it's good for just keeping comic books going. If there was ever that fear of dying comic books, that's bullshit. This thing is keeping it going strong, but
I think it needs to tone down a little bit.
There's a balance that needs to be made.
Yeah, I mean, having people go out and buy books keeps the manufacturers in business. It keeps the stories going. It gives us an opportunity to get good books and have other books kind of circulate. And so there's a plus side to it. It's just, I think more people need to learn how to navigate it because I think that the turnover rate is really high. I don't think we go a week without me hearing about somebody who got so fatigued from buying too many new books that they just quit on the hobby because it was just too cost prohibitive because they're doing it wrong and they're letting that drive them away from the hobby.
Oh no, listen, I've heard that's why I'm saying, that's why I've reiterated about cutting down your pull list, because a lot of people hit me up after I said it that one time and they're like, man, I really got to do that because I can't afford to spend $100 or $100 plus a week, so $400 or $500 a month. I'm like, no, I mean, I can't do that kind of stuff. I'll be bankrupt. But getting back to something we were talking about earlier, I think there's been 3 big things in the last probably 20 years that have like really changed the comic book industry. One, like you said, the movies, I think it's had a huge impact. Grading. So like the whole, I think someone even mentioned it, dude, like a 9.8 grade is like a whole nother level. And we also have now comic book pressing is not like a deep, dark secret anymore. Like before, dude, that was something that was hush hush. No one talked about. It was like taboo to even say anything. It was like a little secret society that did it. Now everybody does it.
What's funny, dude, is I finally like showed kind of what I do in my video last week. Because I barely know how to do it, but they keep asking, how do you do it? And like I told temperatures and what I did in times, and I didn't get any backlash at all. Nothing. And I just agreeing with you, Hulk, is that a couple years ago, you said anything, you were dead. Like it was, you just screwed yourself.
The Illuminati would have had you like now.
But now it's like everyone's want us to do it, and no one doesn't care anymore. It's not a secret. But whatever, yeah.
But I think I think there's been, and even do a fourth item, like I said, the movies, slabbing, high grade slabbing, I think is a whole different world than just slabbing. And then the pressing, and now like the signatures have taken on a whole nother life in itself of the hobby. I mean, signatures have always been a thing, but now it's like getting to be a big thing.
I really want raw signed books to stop being some weird controversy and start picking up in value. Because there's always been that thing, oh, dude, why the hell did you get your book signed and not slabbed? Or why would you damage your comic? Or all that bullshit I want gone. I want it to be like, dude, that book's signed, that's awesome. It doesn't have to be slabbed. It doesn't have to be whatever. I would love that to actually, that whole weird conversation about whether to sign it or not, or slab it, or just to like disappear. Does that make any sense?
It's not, though. It's not. As long as there's slabs, there's always going to be people who are for it, and there's people who are against it. And I mean, that's an endless argument. There's no point in having it. You just like it, cool.
You just gotta do what you like.
Yeah, exactly.
I get raw books signed. Like, look, I love this book. This is like a 5th print of like Thanos 13, and it's signed by Donnie Cates and Jeff Shaw.
That's
I love this book, and I wanted them to sign it. I don't have to pay an extra $50 to get it slabbed because it's for me. I'm not.
But I also understand the guys who like, you know, the authenticated signatures and they're in the gold label. Like, it does look cool. Like, I'm not hating on that. It's not my thing. I'm saying, but my point is, like,
I stood in line and had both of them sign it, so I don't need someone to tell me whether or not it's authenticated. I get it. But I'm saying I get the guys who like it. Like, I think it does look cool. Am I willing to pay that price? No, I'm not a chance. But I get that part of the hobby. You know, I mean, I have nothing against slabs. For me, it's a pure money thing, is why I slab. So I'm not really a good person to comment on whether you should slab or not. Like I said, because mine's pretty much just so if I die.
Will you put me in your will for your comment?
Say, yeah, Bill, once you start cutting me in on them super chat money.
I'll send you your $1 from today. For sure.
What about the other videos, man? We've been keeping tally. Me and Panda got a tally. We know the amount.
Maybe I'll put one book and a Mylar for you. Something.
Yeah, give me a Mylar, you cheap fuck.
With a pube. And look, we could talk about this all day, but I am exhausted. I did that almost 3-hour auction. My voice is gone.
I know. You got to get up for go to work.
No, I can't talk. So
I know, like, well, you two can't really use that shit. Oh, I got to get up and go to work. I can't either, but
me neither.
I'm tired, aren't you? I'm tired. Is that good enough, or?
Well, it's 2:30 where I am.
Well, the people are in here still, and thanks for coming. I hope you guys got some out of it. Seems like we ran about the same thing in a different way every time, but I think that
because there's no other...
can do that. There's nothing else to talk about.
Well, no, there really isn't, unless you want to go beat the same issues over and over again. I mean, there's not that many new things to talk about in comic collecting.
We'll figure out something for next time.
Well, like I said, next time we'll show off some books or something.
We're probably going to talk about the same exact stuff next time.
At the end, yeah, we'll end up being that way.
Yeah.
Because that is the true argument. It's like, you know, is there a God or isn't? It's that what we're talking about right now is the argument for comics. So
there is no God. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Comics with Joe Rogan and Andy Garcia.
And
that
Jeff Fieri, Lyle Alzado.
No, who's that dude from the Goonies?
In comics.
It's Joe Rogan, Andy Garcia, and the guy from the Goonies, Baby Ruth dude, whatever his name is.
Wow.
Rocky Road?
Yes, that's you, dude.
His name is Sloth, by the way.
Yeah, Sloth. There you go. My bad.
He would know that too, because that's a kid's thing.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next time. All right, later.